Creative Brain Candy by creators for creators.
Beef. I'm through.
Again?
No, not again. I'm through. I'm quit.
Sit down.
No, I didn't come here to discuss it. I came to say I'm through.
Now, just a minute. All right, so the goose bought it. But that's the way you always came at the world.
Off it.
Max, you'll be the first to admit it was long overdue. All right, I'll tell you how it is. You're a winner, Max. You're on the top shelf. And I'm not going to lose you because of some crazy notion about quitting. They say people don't believe in heroes anymore. Well, damn them. You and me, Max. We're going to give them back to heroes.
Do you really expect me to go for that crap?
You got to admit I sound good there for a minute. Yeah.
5 feet.
Hey, come on. You want me to beg? On my knees, crying? Now, just a minute. Give me a reason.
I'm scared, Thief. You know why? It's that red circus out there. I'm beginning to enjoy it.
What is this, Bonnie Week?
Look, any longer out on that road and I'm one of them, you know? A terminal crazy. Only I got a bronze badge to say I'm one of the good guys. You know what I'm trying to say?
I'll tell you what I'll do. Take off for a few weeks, huh? Grow yourself a beard. Draw flies. Just think about it for a while. You still feel the same way when you come back? Well, it's okay by me. Come on.
I'm not going to change my mind.
Get out of here before I decide to come with you, huh?
Hi, everyone, and welcome to Smoking and Drinking in Space. This is a sci-fi podcast from a couple guys who think they know sci-fi. And this week, we discussed the movie that launched the Mad Max series while secretly wishing we were discussing Independence Day again. It's 1979's Mad Max. But first, he's the guy who insists on driving even though he can't, to my guy who takes over after he crashes, but also can't drive worth a damn. It's James. How are you doing, James?
That's probably the most accurate portrayal of who you and I are. On this podcast. Also, I figured out now why you say that this is a podcast from a couple of guys who think they know sci-fi, because there are legitimately only two guys on this podcast who know what sci-fi are. Spoiler, you're not one of them.
Oh, yeah. And he's the big hug who likes chasing people running in and out of the woods. It's Rob. How you doing, Rob?
I'm doing better. I survived the apocalypse. Spoiler. What I went through with no power or water and Snowmageddon down here in Texas is more sci-fi than the movie we're about to review.
You might be right.
Yeah, I am right.
Oh, so you're certain about it. Wow. Okay.
Yes. And I'm sure we will have many examples as to why this was not sci-fi.
I think the physics in this movie probably are more sci-fi than what you went through.
James,
no.
What's happening around CBC this week?
What's going on around CBC this week? Eyes Forward March put out a new podcast, I think last week. Maybe there's another one this next week. I don't know. Like, schedules are all kinds of screwed up in my head because, you know, it's a pandemic and we don't get out much and it's snowing again outside right now because of course it is. It's February. Fuck. God, I want spring so bad. Anyway, check out Eyes Forward March. On creativebraincandy.com. And while you're there, check out the great family of podcasts we have there and streamers. There's a ton of us, and we all like to talk. So check it out, Eyes Forward March, if you're into military things. If you are a NCO, I believe that's non-commissioned officer. I know my military lingo. Where they discuss things that will pertain to you while you're an NCO. And then also, as you're preparing to get out of the military and go on with your civilian career. Eyes Forward March, creativebraincandy.com. Check it out. I also think that they've got an Instagram account now.
Yeah, that's the rumor.
Yeah. So like, you can look for that as well. But if you want to know what it is, come on our Discord, creativebraincandy.com. Click the Discord button. Download that app. Come by. Say hi to everybody but Rob.
Rob, you got any news for us this week?
I've got a couple news articles. Again,
Were you able to take a shit?
only two, because I only have two articles today.
Wait, you only took a shit in the last 7 days twice.
Yeah, sure.
Was
And
it
all of
because you
that-
couldn't flush your toilet?
That's part of it. Yeah, couldn't.
I mean,
flush
you know,
the
you
toilet,
can melt
couldn't
water,
see,
right?
Couldn't see.
Melt water.
It's hard to melt water when the inside of your house is as cold as it is outside.
I guess
That's
just
true.
be thankful you don't have a $17,000 electric bill.
Yeah, no shit. Did you read those?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not on that wholesale mumbo jumbo.
Yeah, andy
down in
who's
the
on
heart
gritty
of
is an
Texas.
idiot.
Is an idiot. Yes.
Well, yeah. Way to go, Texas.
Yep. All right.
Free
So
market.
my first article is there was a black-footed ferret named Elizabeth Ann.
What?
Actually, it was named Willa. Sorry. Let's start over.
Did you
There
even
was a
read this article?
Yeah, I did, and
He's reading it right now.
I am. No, there was a black-footed ferret named Willa that died in 1988. They just brought her back to life via cloning.
No, okay, that's
So-
not. Wait, stop.
No.
Okay, that's not bringing something back. That's not how resurrection works.
Hey,
Okay.
that's how they put it on here. They said this ferret died 33 years ago. Scientists just brought her back to life.
That's not what they did. They cloned her. That's not bringing something
They
back
did.
to life. That is creating a separate life form from the DNA that they had from
They did.
the
Yeah,
original.
they
life.
basically
Yeah,
created
yeah,
a
so-
twin.
Yep. So
Yeah.
in 1988, they froze her and then returned her genetic material back into the species. Apparently, there was only 7 surviving animals of this black-footed ferret, and through some breeding and all that kind of fun stuff, there's about 1,000 of them now. So first step is black-footed ferret. Next step is Jurassic Park.
Yeah, I was going to say that's exactly where I was going to go. This this sounds very familiar.
Yeah. They're
They're
testing.
playing with fire. They're playing with fire. Rob is what they're doing.
No. They're practicing so that they can get it right, so that when they bring back the big ones, they can control them better.
Life
No.
finds a way.
Oh Jesus, you are not Goldblum. Like you're not.
But he wishes.
I know he wishes he was. Maybe one day in the far flung future, if you have your head frozen, they can bring you back as Goldblum's twin. I don't know. No, because he would just spend all day touching himself, looking in the mirror, going, "Would you fuck me?"
How's
I'd
that any
fuck me.
different than what he does now?
I don't know. I don't want to know what he does now.
Yeah, because I could put that pillow, one of those pillows that you got me for Christmas on my
You
head.
have not. Have you done the coloring book? While
No, I
wearing
have not
nothing
done the
but
coloring book.
pillow.
It's still packed.
Yeah, you need to find the coloring book
man.
and just wear the pillow,
don't-
nothing else.
I
And
don't
then
think
do
he's
some coloring.
entirely on board with.
I don't think
his
he is. I don't think.
Goldblum
Yeah, I think
fetish.
I think he's a Goldblum fan wannabe. He's not a true fan of the Goldblum.
he is not. Because I mean,
Look,
a
I
true
know what's
fan
in my
would've-
heart. Y'all can't.
Would have already started on the coloring book. Would have already
Fandom.
taken pictures with the pillows. In
finds
fact,
a
the
way.
pillows would be standing up by themselves without any help.
Gross.
Rob, what else you got?
My next one, it's not really sci-fi news, but I thought it was funny. Kathleen Kennedy posted a video about the
Nobody cares.
women. I know
Nobody
that
cares.
this is funny.
Nobody.
This is funny. She posted a video on YouTube, on the Oscars YouTube channel, talking about women's significance in film and all that kind of good stuff. And when this article was posted on February 17th, the video had about 25,000 views.
Yeah, I got ratio.
72 of those
Yeah.
are likes, and then there's about 6,000 dislikes.
Yeah.
So see you later, Kathleen. You are
Yeah.
a fucktard.
I don't think you can say that word on the podcast. I might be wrong. It's not a PC
But I just
word.
did?
You did. You did indeed do it. Nobody cares what Kathleen Kennedy has to say.
And nobody cares about our podcast.
Well, that's probably also accurate. But what I mean is, you can't come out and say all these great things about women right after you have fired a strong, outspoken woman for being strong and outspoken just because you didn't like what she said.
Yep.
But
she can.
Well, she tried, and she got ratioed all to hell.
Yep.
Kathleen Kennedy really should go away. I do believe that she is the reason, probably the number one reason, not the only reason, but the number one reason why Star Wars now sucks. And I think that there's a lot of hard evidence to support my assertion that she is the number one reason that it sucks. And I really hope that she would find something else to do, go ruin something else. But she won't because of the pandemic, and it's going to be hard for her to find a job somewhere else because she has completely shat on all that is Star Wars. Thanks, Rob, for bringing this up.
You're welcome.
I was in a
thanks,
good
Rob.
mood before this all started. Now you
Why?
made me go on a rant. Well, because I was getting ready to shit all over fucking this stupid movie we had to watch.
Perfect.
And
Yeah.
No, but now it's ruined.
Go on.
Now,
No.
it's your fault. I'm in a bad mood now, Rob.
No. I want to hear this pod crawl and how
Sci-fi it is.
it was. Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
my God. You two are idiots. Y'all ready for a pod crawl?
Yes.
Yeah. A long time ago.
All right, let's do this.
We can call it, I don't know, say a pod crawl? The pod crawl! Pod crawl! Pod crawl! Pod crawl! Excellent! Insert it deep! Pod crawl! Kind of like a space suppository full of information.
It's tomorrow and the land down under and society has collapsed, though you can't really tell by looking. There's a crazed madman
That's true.
ripping down a lone Aussie highway in a Ford Falcon GT, which proves that he's crazed since he's driving a Ford Falcon. Australian John Candy and Skinny Pete of the Main Force Patrol pursue, but for being trained highway patrol officers, they can't drive worth a shit. After their failed attempt to get the Knight Rider to pull Australian kid over, Australian Martin Riggs is called in to use his special powers of tailgating the Knight Rider into a construction zone and killing him. Knight Rider's biker gang in Shakespeare in the Park Rejects, the Knight Foundation, is not pleased that Riggs killed one of theirs, and they head towards Melbourne looking to dance and pillage their way into Max's heart. After brutalizing a couple in a Chevy Bel Air, Riggs and Goose interrupt their sexy, oily beach volleyball game to investigate. Oh wait, I might be mixing movies.
You are.
Anyway, the Knight Foundation left behind one of their own, a very drunk and idiotic Australian Warren Beatty. They haul his ass to jail, but at trial nobody shows up as a witness for the prosecution, so Aussie Beatty gets released. Goose isn't happy about it, and heads to the local disco, because, yeah, disco is still a thing, and Aussie Beatty jacks with the rear tire on his Pursuit motorcycle. The next day, Goose is ripping down another lonely Australian highway, when his rear wheel locks up and he crashes. He calls Australian AAA, which is self-serve in the outback, and on his way home he's jumped and roasted by the Knight Foundation. Riggs is shaken to his core, and turns in his resignation from the force, but Captain Australia convinces him to take a vacay instead. Riggs packs his wife, and actually remembers to pack his kid, and they head north on adventure. They buy Sherlock Holmes's dog, and when a blowout forces them to stop by Australian Gomer's shop, Mrs. Riggs and Sprague, no, not kidding, the kid's name is Sprague, head to a nearby town to get some Australian ice cream. The Knight Foundation are hanging out by the tide pools, when they see Mrs. Riggs head inside for a treat. The Knight gang harass Mrs. Riggs for a bit before she kicks Macbeth in the balls and drives off. She picks up Riggs on the way out, and they head to Australian Aunt May's house. Aunt May lives in the woods, right by the beach, so Mrs. Riggs goes to soak up some rays while Riggs fixes the fan belt. On the way back to the house from the beach, Mrs. Riggs is chased by Macbeth and the crew, but she makes it back to the house and Riggs heads into the woods to look for something. While in the house, Mrs. Riggs remembers she has a kid and runs outside to see if dingoes ate her baby, but the Knight Foundation has snuck into a nearby barn with all of their motorcycles without anyone seeing or hearing anything, and they have the kid. She half-assed asks them to hand over the baby, appearing to be ready to walk away at the first no, but Aunt May shows up, and Granny's got a gun. She locks all of the young ruffians in the barn, and Mrs. Riggs, Aunt May, and the kid drive off in the still-busted car. Riggs gets back just as the Knights are riding off in pursuit of his wife, and when the car breaks down, Aunt May faces all of the bikers down alone, in the middle of the road. She fires, and is 0 for 2 on hitting anything important with a shotgun, as the bikers run the wife and kid down in the road. Riggs is pissed, and he puts on his leathers to chase down the thugs who killed his dog. He tailgates several off of a bridge, and gets to the last 3. They set a stupid trap for him, but he bites, and gets out of his source of power. They shoot him in the knee and run over his arm, but he manages to take one out before getting back into his cruiser, and chases Macbeth down in the dumbest car chase ever, eventually tailgating him into a truck. The last guy, Australian Beatty, he doesn't even chase down. He finds him stealing the boots off a dead man, and he cuffs him to the wreckage of an old pickup, sets a crude time delay fuse, hands him a hacksaw, and rolls slow walking away from an explosion, giving Michael Bay a chubby credits.
Yeah.
All right, Mad Max. This is this apparently was a huge success.
In Australia?
Well, in Australia and worldwide. It made over $100 million worldwide. It held the Guinness Book of World Records for profit to ratio in a movie for a long time because of this. I don't know. I don't like this movie. This movie sucks a lot.
Yeah, it's not good. So, the number one thing that my wife asked behind why is this considered sci-fi while we were watching it was, where's the kid?
Right. Yeah.
Holding the gun.
Yeah, right. He was holding the gun the first. Like, what the fuck is a kid doing with a handgun?
Yeah, you gotta wonder. You gotta wonder if they actually wanted to have a kid because I mean they ignored him like 90% of the time the kid was around. In fact, you don't even see the kid for the most part. I thought they went on vacation without the kid, and it wasn't until she was. Yeah, he just shows up in the car. She's holding him all of a sudden, and you're like, "What the fuck? Where in the hell did the kid come from?"
Well, my wife asked. She like that was I think one of the first times I actually was listening to what she said. She's like, "Wait, where's the kid?" I'm like, "It's the 70s. He's probably in the back, up top, in the rear window." Like catching some sun and some Z's, because that's what I used to do.
And then they showed a picture of the back, and there's the kid sitting in the back.
Yeah.
Not in a car seat.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, so this was the 70s. And I remember as a kid in the 70s, being in the back seat, no seatbelt, just kind of looking, you were turned around on 70s, your knees in the seat.
I did that in the 80s.
Well, yeah, you did that in the 80s too, but turned around on your knees in the seat, looking out the rear window and sticking your tongue out of people behind you. And
like my parents had a Thunderbird when we were really kid, a Ford Thunderbird, and it wasn't like a hatchback. It was like a legit I don't even remember if it's 4 doors. I think it was a 2-door, and we would get in the back seat. And my brother and I would just climb up where the rear speakers were, which was behind the headrest in the back seat. We just climb up there in that little space where the window is between the speaker and we just chill out there, catch some sun.
Oh, you didn't do that in the summer though. Good God, you would cook.
We tried a couple of times until we learned, hot bad. It took a minute, but once we got it, we stopped. Yeah.
After the first layer of skin peeled off as he got off the vinyl.
Well, I mean, so you would have that
smarter than Sprague. So just FYI,
it would depend on what you had in that rear deck. So if it was just the kind of crosshatch mesh over the speakers, you would end up with like burns on you with the crosshatch mesh. If it was that fiberglass carpet that after it cooked in the sun for a summer or two, you could just run your hand across of it and you'd have all this like fiberglass snow blowing throughout the cabin. Yeah, you'd be itching for about a week.
Yeah, no, it was the first one. It was the mesh. Whatever.
Crosshatch mesh. Say that 3 times fast.
Yeah, I'm not going to even difficult. Attempt to.
So was this movie just another like Visit Australia commercial that they did, or?
No, that's really Crocodile Dundee is a
this was
national treasure.
Yeah, this was way before Crocodile Dundee.
Yeah, Right.
I'm just saying, is this another
If
visit?
this was a
'Cause, I mean, that's all it
tourism
looked
movie
like.
for Australia, they failed miserably.
Right. They're like, come to
Well-
Australia. We have motorcycle gangs and
Well, what
highway
I'm
patrolmen who will run you into the back of semis.
Yeah,
I will
but what I'm
say-
saying is it didn't even seem post-apocalyptic.
I will say
it
that
wasn't.
Australia in the late 70s was very, very progressive as far as their motorcycle gangs go, because this is the first portrayal I've ever seen of a gay motorcycle gang in a movie, especially this far in the past.
Yeah. And they were, I think they were like, let's be fair. I believe they were bisexual.
Yeah, you're probably right. They probably
'Cause
were
they-
bisexual.
I do believe they raped the woman in the Chevy. Was that a Chevy?
That was the Chevy Bel Air, yeah.
Yeah. And then they also raped the guy because wasn't his ass bloody?
It
as
was.
he was running away.
It was.
Yeah.
That was pretty disturbing.
Yeah, it was on a lot of levels. On a lot of levels. Another level that I was really disturbed by on this movie is it's listed as sci-fi for some reason, and there is literally nothing about this movie.
It's
that is
only
sci-fi.
listed. It's only listed as sci-fi on IMDb.
I don't care what IMDb
which is
says. They're
not
wrong.
the holder of all knowledge.
No, Wikipedia just says that this is like a
Action thriller.
there you go. It is
Dystopian
not science fiction.
action thriller. And
Okay, let's just go through this. I want to go through this piece by piece because there's a lot of things in my life that I am unsure of that are very uncertain. Sci-fi is not one of them. Like I look at a movie, I look at a piece of art, I look at a piece of pop culture, and I can go, that's sci-fi. Like I know what it is. Like 11/22/63, not really sci-fi. This movie is even less sci-fi. Just spoiler, if you're gonna pay attention to the end.
Great.
This is
You're
not
supposed
sci-fi.
to say. you're
Yeah, I'll
supposed
say it
to
later.
say that,
Trust me,
yeah.
I've got a whole spiel.
Oh,
This is not
okay,
sci-fi.
so dystopian and post-apocalyptic are subgenres of sci-fi because they deal with the breakdown of society and
there
how
was no breakdown of society.
there was a
Breakdown
breakdown
of
of society.
society.
The title card at the very beginning of the movie explained that. Now,
Okay, let's
that
just science fiction. Science fiction. This has the fiction part. There is no science part to this. There's nothing about
so
it.
you
did
don't
make a
think
homemade
that
bomb.
sociology and anthropology and
not.
those aren't sciences?
This is not science fiction. You know it's not science fiction. I don't even know why this is on the list. The next couple can be on the list for sure in the Mad Max series. But this is decidedly, definitively not science fiction. You want to talk about dystopian as some kind of subgenre of sci-fi, fine. You can talk about post-apocalyptic as some kind of subgenre of sci-fi, fine. But dystopian, number one, there still seemed to be a government. There still seemed to be courts. And it wasn't like it was a kangaroo court.
Yeah.
It was like a real court where they wore suits and shit. Like it may have been the big wide fucking lapel suits from the fucking 70s, but it was still suits. They had a jail. The cops, like if it was dystopian, the cops would have just been shooting people and carrying out justice right then and there, and they weren't.
Okay,
They still had paperwork to fill out.
But the
That's not
collapse of
fucking
society
dystopian.
doesn't mean that society ceases to exist.
No. Yes. Yeah. Absolutely. Actually.
No, because other societies end up springing from the society that collapsed. That's
Right. But look, you're not going to convince me, and you're literally not going to convince anybody out there that this is sci-fi by trying to split hairs on what's dystopian and what isn't. Like you have said that they made this quote unquote sci-fi at the end because he didn't have a budget to like have, film in real buildings.
okay. So we can talk about the portrayal of his dystopia.
This is not dystopian. This is a motorcycle gang. It's literally gay Hells Angels in Australia versus like fucking the village people who are just the cops, not like the
Australian
sailor.
chips.
Right. It's Australian chips.
There was
That's all
a
this
lot
is.
of leather in that department.
Yeah. Look,
Only
later
Goose was
on-
wearing real leather.
Well, all right, yeah. In the later on in these films, it is very much post-apocalyptic. So, are we supposed to believe then that this was pre-apocalyptic and the rest of the movies end up being post-apocalyptic? I'm asking a legit question.
Yeah, so I think this was as the society was breaking down. I think this was towards the death throes of the society that you see in the future Mad Max movies. This is the first time that I've actually seen Mad Max. I've seen all the rest of them except for the brand new one with Charlize Theron. I haven't seen that one yet.
You're not missing much.
But I've seen
just stay away.
I've seen Fury Road or not Fury Road, but Fury Road, which is Mad Max 2 and Beyond the Thunderdome.
No,
Beyond the Thunderdome. Yeah.
Road Warrior.
That's it.
2.
Road Warrior and Beyond the Thunderdome.
Fury
is the new one. Yeah.
That's the new one. Yeah. With
Charlize.
Yeah. That one's is nuts. Yeah. But
Charlize.
like in all of those, it's all desert. It is all roving gangs in the desert because it's post fucking apocalyptic. And all of the people in those movies that are regular people and not part of, these roving gangs of car bandits, for lack of a better fucking descriptor, all of the regular normies, the civilians, if you were, they're in tattered clothes. They are in they're hungry, they're thirsty, they're struggling to get by. Here, there's none of that. There are lush, rolling green hills in Australia, which I wasn't aware of. I thought it was just basically death spiders and giant snakes that could swallow you in one gulp.
That's on West Australia.
There's that too. They had to shoo all those away to make the film.
Right.
Every time they made the scene, they shoot away all the giant spiders and snakes and all that shit. Yeah.
Well, that makes sense. There were paved roads, very well maintained paved roads.
Yeah.
There was still commerce going on. Like there were tractor trailers that were going around. Look, it's not sci-fi. It's just not sci-fi. You will never convince me it's sci-fi. I think if you sat anybody down, a normal human being with a lot of common sense and a good head on their shoulders, not Rob, obviously, but somebody like normal, and ask them to watch this movie and put them through that torture. And I'm not sure why you would do that, but if you did, I'm going to say 99.9% of the time they're going to go, this is not sci-fi.
It doesn't even have to be a normal person.
So
anybody would say that.
Except Jason.
At what point would it become sci-fi? At what point in the civilization's collapse does it become sci-fi? Does it become dystopian enough to... So post-apocalyptic just means after a major changing event.
I want
there
my
was no major
post-apocalyptic
changing event.
hellscape
There was a major changing
to be a hellscape. I don't want beaches. I don't want forests. I don't want fucking rolling green hills. I don't want commerce going on in a normal day-to-day sense where you're exchanging goods for money or goods for money for goods. I don't want that. I want post-apocalyptic. I want a biker gang that is in charge of an area and there are different areas set up. Not like there's none of that. There's this roving biker gang that is. And I would be town.
I would be more convinced if there were not necessarily burned out cars, but abandoned cars on the side of the road,
right? There was
or trash, that kind of thing.
But
I'm thinking Walking Dead as a comparison. They're going down the road and there's random cars just on the side of the road, not a whole lot of people. Take the zombies out of it.
Right. There's just flotsam everywhere.
That's
none of that.
That's sci-fi. Post-apocalyptic sci-fi.
So unless there's burning cars on the side of the road, it's not sci-fi.
I didn't say it had to be burning cars.
I think you're just oversimplifying what we're saying.
Well, I'm trying to get to the crux of where it becomes
you're just
sci-fi.
Picking and choosing to try to break us apart.
At what point does a dystopian society become sci-fi? I mean, we've already established
dystopian.
We've already established that there was an apocalyptic event. There was a war, according to the title card, and societies collapsed.
It didn't. Yeah. Okay.
It didn't look
if society has collapsed, let's be honest with ourselves for a minute. Okay. If society has collapsed, mechanics, all right, they're probably not too concerned with spare tires. You're also probably not going to go down the road and get an ice cream. Okay. If society has collapsed, you're probably not going to see that. If society has collapsed and no one's really in charge and there's just these roving gangs, then what gave these guys the right to become fucking highway patrol. And they don't even have a license to kill. So they're just kind of like, we're highway patrol in a dystopian future, but we have a lot of laws. And those laws say that we can't really kill you unless, it's an accident when you like hit the ass end of a fucking semi at 80 miles an hour because you're an idiot.
Well, like I said before, they're probably right at the end of the death knell of what their current society was, and it's becoming
not dystopian, is it?
Well, no, it is. So,
that's not dystopian.
Okay,
dystopian would be after the death knell. It would be after society has collapsed.
Okay, where do you draw that line? When do you determine exactly when the society is falling? I mean, when you can't
exactly buy a fucking ice cream?
Oh, so ice cream is now the determinant of when society is truly fallen.
Or okay, yeah, sure. Or when you still have to abide by laws because there's an obvious government in charge. How's that?
Well, it could be that Australian government or whatever governing body that was in charge, because I guess this is Australia, but they never really mentioned a specific spot in Australia. Anyways, maybe it's turned into several different city-states, kind of like how Italy has been throughout several of its epochs or ages.
Yeah, no, I'm not buying it. It wasn't. None of that was stated.
No, it wasn't, and you're right. I will grant you that it did not look as if society had fallen. I'm going off of what the director put in the title card as the premise for what his movie. Now, whether he executed that premise very well or not is certainly up for debate. And I agree. I don't think he did.
He put in this,
but you can't say that dystopia and post-apocalyptic stories are not sci-fi because they don't look sci-fi to you.
They're not sci-fi. They don't feel sci-fi. It's not that they don't look sci-fi.
Okay, it may not look and feel sci-fi to you, but you got to take it as the premise that was handed to you. Now we can discuss the merits of how well he executed his vision or how well he made it into a sci-fi story.
He didn't.
Okay. And I would agree with you. I don't think he executed the vision very well, but it is sci-fi.
Why are we arguing? I don't understand.
Because it is sci-fi.
It's not. Can we argue about something that is important?
Sure.
Okay. Why is it every parent in this dystopian future, pre-apocalyptic Australia sucks?
Well, I don't know. That may be a 70s thing.
Like the kid, like the dingo ate my baby. Like the fucking kid, they just wanders into the street while the parents, I don't even know what they're doing. They're fumble fucking around, like not watching the fucking kid. He just kind of wanders into the fucking street.
I know.
Like you never, I don't get it. Then you see Sprague just pop up every once in a while. Like, oh shit, the director's like, fuck, I forgot you had a kid. Oh yeah, we did too, mate. Fuck, put a shrimp on the barbie. I'll go get Sprague. Hold on a second. Like, it's just like, what the fuck is going on? And then instead of like protecting the kid, the fucking wife is just like, derp, derp, derp. I'm in the middle of the road. Come get me, motorcycles.
Yeah. Why run through the middle of the fucking road? Why not go over that barbed wire fence? I mean, that's at least going to slow them down for a little bit while you're running through the field. They're trying to get through the barbed wire fence.
I don't get it. There was a lot of this movie that I didn't get. I didn't get that it was sci-fi because it's not sci-fi. I didn't get why the kid's in it. It was like they forgot half the time that he was there. Like not even just the parents in the story, but like the director's like, oh, fuck shit, I forgot. I wrote in a fucking kid. God damn.
No, this movie is awful. I looked, I was an hour into the movie and it felt like 2. And I looked and I was like, oh my God, we're only an hour into this movie. It's only an hour and a half. How is this only? Oh, it was awful. It felt like it was a 3-hour movie. It was only an hour and a half.
There was no rhyme or reason to it.
How did this put Mel Gibson on the map?
Fuck, I don't know. I don't know how it made $100 million worldwide.
There wasn't a lot happening.
I mean,
I'll tell you what.
You got to admit, Mel Gibson looks good at 20 something or however the fuck old he was at this point.
Does he look better than Jeff Goldblum?
Let's not.
Okay, that's what I thought. This is a version of the movie I would watch. This movie narrated by Ozzy Man. That's the version of the movie I'd watch.
Who's Ozzy Man?
How do you not know who Ozzy Man is?
I don't know who.
Rob, Do you know who Ozzy Man is?
No.
Oh, for fuck's sake. He's an Australian personality, and he finds funny videos on the internet.
Oh, that dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
The honey badger guy.
The honey badger guy. Yeah.
And
then he narrates the videos.
The honey badger. He don't give a shit.
He's gotten so famous that he interviews people, famous people, celebrities, when they come through Australia to do, we're here to do a real sci-fi movie. We're going to promote it. Like, he's one of the guys. He gets to interview them. He does a fun little game called, Guess the Aussie Slang. So he'll give you a slang like fair dinkum and say, what does fair dinkum mean? And if you win, like, he went out and he bought a small little prize for these celebrities that can obviously afford more than he can. It's hilarious.
Yeah, it sounds hilarious.
You should watch some of his videos. He got very famous because he was doing MMA knockouts. Like, he would narrate that, and he's very funny. And then the MMA, like, the UFC told him he couldn't do that anymore. And
really?
So, yeah. So, because he was just taking them, after the fight's been over for a while. He wasn't taking new ones. He was taking old ones. Like, he can't do that.
Was he, like, legit narrating them, or was he doing it for comedic effect?
He was doing it for comedic effect.
And wow.
I don't know what the fucking laws are in Australia.
Yeah.
I don't know what he can and can't do, but apparently, like, they can't even have Facebook anymore or some shit. I don't fucking know. I don't watch the news because I don't give a fuck, especially about Australia, because apparently there are roving gangs of gay bikers.
Bisexual.
And parents. And I'm sorry, you're right, bisexual. And, like, parents, I don't even know how Ozzy Man survived.
Maybe he was born after the 70s.
Is that it?
Maybe. I don't
even know. I would imagine that Mad Max, I'm hoping that Mad Max is not is not like the gold standard for what Australian parents are. But when was that? When did that woman lose her baby to the dingoes?
Fuck, I don't know.
It was about this. Wasn't it around this time?
It might have been. Maybe there's like a 10-year generational gap in Australia. It's just the 70s. Nobody gave two shits. And so all the children from the 70s, most of them like died.
I get, but here's the thing about Australia. Like, I'll give this to Australia. Now, I'll give them a lot of shit for a lot of things, but they're great people. They're fantastic. But a 7 in Australia is probably a dime everywhere else. Like, that, if I could live in Australia, I wouldn't, because of everything that can kill you there. But I would at least have a passing moment where I'd be like, yes, because a 7 in Australia is a 10 everywhere else.
Yeah, I think everything in Australia is poisonous, including Australians.
Well, right, but no, I don't think their women are. They're just super hot.
Well, but they also have stingers.
But they're super hot.
Well, they're super hot with stingers.
I would let them, whatever. I don't give it. They're so hot.
Okay.
I don't care.
Okay.
I don't care. And that accent. Oh, God, help me. That accent. I have a thing for women with, like, cool accents like that. Australian, British, like the British, like fucking. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Never mind. We're going down a road that is definitely more sci-fi than this movie. But God, yeah, I don't think we want to go down that road.
No, I didn't like this movie. It played like a public service message to Australians about don't drive like an idiot. Because George Miller, who wrote and directed this movie, he was a doctor, and apparently he got the idea of this movie from his time doing trauma with traffic accidents.
What was that movie we all had to watch in high school?
Oh, Blood on the Asphalt or something like that. Yeah.
Red Asphalt or some shit.
Yeah, some stupid movie like that.
Yeah, that's exactly what this movie reminded me of. They're like, if you're going to be a bisexual biker in Australia, don't do this.
Yeah.
Like, stupid. It was just so dumb. Oh, my God. Did you notice that before both the Knight Rider, and I want to talk about the Knight Rider here in a minute because I'm very upset that wasn't David Hasselhoff. But the Knight Rider and then the leader of the bisexual biker gang, when they died, right before they died, there was literally probably like a frame,
Bulged
maybe
eyes?
2 frames, like with the bulging
What the
eyes.
fuck was that?
That reminded me so much of the Faces of Death.
Standard 70s, 80s death scene.
You remember those Faces of Death movies?
No, I never watched those.
Arnold Schwarzenegger had it too.
Yeah, in Total Recall. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was
more
after
sci-fi than 11/22.
Well, yeah.
more sci-fi than 11/20. Absolutely, 100%. But in the Faces of Death movie where you were like watching real people die and you really weren't, that was their go-to movie.
Yeah, I never watched The
popping
Faces
eyeballs.
of Death. I never got into that in the 80s whenever everybody
I watched
was.
one.
Yeah.
I watched one. I'm like, this is stupid. Like, it's not even like I'm not scared. It's more sci-fi than Mad Max.
You sure?
Faces of Death. Yeah, Faces of Death. More sci-fi than Mad Max. 100%.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. Yes.
Yeah, I don't know what the whole bulging eye thing was. That was really weird. And they cut to it like a couple of different times whenever Macbeth was about to hit the truck. And what is it with fucking car chases and motorcycles and you're in a car? That's not a contest. Trust me, I've ridden motorcycles and been almost pushed off of fucking highways by cars. It's not a fucking contest.
No. Can I ask why Fifi was shirtless?
Why not?
The last time we saw him,
he
had a
was,
scarf on, but he had a scarf on too, didn't he?
Okay, so
Was shirtless in a scarf while he was watering his plants, smoking a cigar.
Fun fact: this got cut from the movie, but Fifi was actually pledging to be part of the motorcycle gang, and that's what he had to do. He had to run around in leather pants, a scarf, and water plants.
I don't think that's
That's not accurate.
It was.
No,
why would a bisexual biker gang make you do the watering plants part? Like, I don't like that. I think the rest I can kind of understand, but like
you've got to tap into your feminine side from time to time.
That's not. I don't.
Yeah, I think that's
Maybe watering plants is a euphemism for something else. They
What
were
would it-
telling him,
what
"Hey,
would it be a
you need
euphemism
to go
for?"
water some plants if you know what I mean." He's like, okay." And so he went and watered the plants instead of laying some pipe.
Yeah, you mean like sowing your seed, which would make no sense in a bisexual biker gang. Like if it was a straight biker gang, maybe. But
bisexual, they can swing both ways. They got to get new recruits.
But I would imagine, like the harder part for gentlemen who wanted to join a biker gang and were unaware that it was bisexual, but they really liked the gang, would be to go the other way. Like they're used to swinging and trying to sow their seed the other way, but like the bisexual part, that would be very difficult for me as a cis straight male. Is that what they're calling us now? Cis straight. Like I don't understand cisgender.
I guess I don't know.
I don't fucking know. But it would be very difficult for me to go that way. I mean, even if it was Jeff Goldblum, it'd be very difficult, extremely. So why, like watering your plant, sowing your seed, doesn't make sense, Rob. You're gonna have to explain the euphemism to me.
Look, I don't know 1979 euphemisms.
You told me that this was a deleted scene.
I said it. Well, I just did a little bit of research and found it.
I don't believe that you did. Could you please show us that research so we can put it in the show notes?
I lost the link.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
So the actual research is the actor decided that if he was going to go shirtless in that scene, he was going to wear a tie. So he was the one that came up with the scarf.
I liked my idea better.
I like that one better than yours, Rob. Yours made no sense. It was nonsensical. It made me sad for you.
So is the fact that the guy was shirtless for no reason.
That was hilarious.
The dude looks like he's like 6'5", 6'6", and he's built like a fucking tank. He can go shirtless if he wants. I'm not going to tell him not to go shirtless. Are you?
I have no problem with it. Like he looked. That scene stuck out. If you're an actor, you want your scenes to stick out, right? That stuck out in my head.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, Leonard Nimoy did it in Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Leonard Nimoy was
shirtless?
No, but he wanted his character to stick out, his scenes to stick out, so he wore that glove thing.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Right. All right. So it's the same concept, just he went shirtless. And I'll be honest, like I was like, man, for an old bald guy, like he had the whole 70s. Like I'm trying really hard not to stereotype a lot with this movie. Biker gangs, lots of leather. Like you guys can put it together, right?
Yeah.
Like we've already said, there's a lot of homoerotic imagery with this movie. A lot.
Yeah.
Especially for the 70s.
Yeah.
A lot.
And I want to ask about that because I think so. I'm not sure which way I think they're trying to go with this.
Are you just trying to be? Are you trying to be polite?
I'm trying to be polite in the way that I phrase this. Do you think they implied that the biker gang was either homosexual or bisexual because of the. Well, yeah, I mean, it's obvious that they were implying that, but do you think they implied that because of the homophobia that was running rampant in the 70s during that time, and it made the biker gang more sinister and more bad guyish? Or do you think there was another reason why they portrayed them that way?
What would be the other reason?
I don't know.
Like
Maybe
to
they
say
were
how
just being
progressive
more
we are?
progressive back in the 70s,
Right.
you know?
Yeah.
Equal opportunity biker gangs.
I think, I mean, look, there's been a lot of allusions to this throughout history. And if you're in a biker gang and you're listening to this, look, let me tell you, I used to ride a motorcycle. Like back in my youth when I could, I wanted to be in a biker gang like that. Like, look, I used to work in retail as a kid. I was a kid. I was like literally like 18 years old, had long hair. Like these bikers walked up and they're like, "Hey man, like where's the nearest strip club?" Like I'm 18. Like I have no idea. I'm like, huh? Like I'm like, I don't know. Like what? Like don't you go? I'm like, dude, I'm 18. They're like, oh shit, man. I thought you were, oh man. And then they walked off. So it was my jam. Those are the kind of people that I hung out with once, I was able to go. So I've got nothing but respect for you, but like there's always been those allusions to biker gangs. There's a little bit of bisexuality there at the very minimum, a little homoeroticism there because of the leather, because of how they dress, because it's very macho, because it's a lot of, and so it's always they're overcompensating for something. So I think
this has been your Crowley story time.
Right. I think, right. That was a story time with Crowley. I think the director just kind of fed into that and was like, well, if society's devolving, I mean, if we're being honest, in the 80s or late 70s, early 80s, AIDS was just becoming to be this big thing.
Well, AIDS wouldn't hit for another few years.
Right. But I mean, there was always, when it did, it vilified those people even more. So I think this just kind of fed into all of that. I think it was part being a villain. I don't think it had anything to do with being progressive. I think it was,
I don't know.
If I'm going to make these guys as evil as I can, then they're going to be bisexual.
So
and I think he did a crap job of it. I mean, if you want me to be honest, that's like, it doesn't hold up for like, that's one of the reasons, like it's not the only reason, but it's one of the reasons this movie just doesn't hold up. And I don't think it would do well as written in today's society, but he just did a shit job of it. Like,
fun fact, the biker gang was portrayed by an actual biker gang, except for like the top three people. I think Bubba, Toe Slasher, and Australian Warren Beatty.
Toad Cutter.
Right, but Toe Cutter.
Toe Jammer, Toe Fuck, whatever his name is.
Don't you think, like, look, if I'm in a biker gang and I'm not in a bisexual biker gang, if I'm not in that gang, and but they want me to, like, be a part of the extras or whatever and be part of the biker gang in the movie, and I see how they're portraying the biker gang, I'm not sure I would want to be an extra.
I mean, they got bikes out of it, and they were paid in beer. So
I guess, what was it? Foster's? Australian for beer. Ugh. I'm just wondering, like, even if I'm bisexual and you're portraying us as villains, like that would piss me off even more.
Right.
Like why? I mean, I have so many questions about this movie and none of them have any answers to them. Not the least of which is, why was this on our list? And we've already covered that. And so I feel like this entire episode's a disappointment, a complete disappointment. I am ashamed. I want to apologize to our listeners for putting you through this. I don't know why we watched this movie. I don't know why it was on the list. Rob and I are going through. I can promise you we're vetting the list. And we're going to make sure that from now on, we're bringing you nothing but sci-fi, baby. Sci-fi. It is smoking and drinking in space, not smoking and drinking in a fucking bisexual motorcycle gang in Australia. That is not the title of our show. Smoking and drinking in space.
That other title has way too many
way too many. Like, I don't even know. I don't even know what the acronym would be.
Yeah, it wouldn't be.
I mean, I could write it down and figure it out, but I can't do it in my head. I don't know.
I know what it'd be. Hey.
I don't think.
You're both idiots. James, I got a question for you.
Yes, sir.
We already know the answer, but
Yeah.
is Mad Max more sci-fi than 11/22/63?
In 11/22/63, there was a closet. And as we just talked about in Mad Max, there wasn't. They all came out. 11/22/63, more sci-fi. Mad Max.
Wow.
I'm so glad we went down that road because that changed. And that's Rob. That's podcast gold, baby.
Oh my God.
All right, Rob, you got a haiku for us this week?
I do. This one is titled, Huh? Mad Max likes fast cars. Cars must burn out all the time. Movie, not sci-fi.
Yes.
Right.
Well done. Well done, sir.
You two are
I mean, it was like
incorrigible.
anytime the car was moving or a motorcycle was moving, it had to burn out, it had to peel out, it had to go super fast.
Well, I mean,
And
like
they even
never-
did.
they've
and
never
they did
driven.
that was
Yeah, and they do the stupid film trick where they speed up the film to make it look
Right.
like they're
God,
going
that looked
fast.
so terrible. Oh my God.
so car movies were huge in the 70s. And
This was 79. The movement was over.
No, they continued into the 80s too. I mean, the whole fucking Smokey and the Bandit thing started in the 70s and went through the
Smokey
80s.
is the bandit.
And you know, there was the Cannonball Run movie.
Right. There was Knight Rider. It was with the
Knight
actual
Rider
David
was in the
Hasselhoff. Yeah.
80s. I mean, yeah, car movies and then eventually television shows in the 80s were huge around this time, and I never really cared for them. I mean, I liked Knight Rider just because it was kind of cool and on weekly.
Science
and it was
fiction.
Only
Science fiction?
Yes, it is science fiction.
Very science.
Thank you.
fiction.
And
Yeah,
only
yeah.
30 minutes long, but
Is it on the list?
It was an hour show. What do you mean 30 minutes long? It was
was
hour.
it an hour?
Fuck yeah, it was an hour.
For some reason,
It seemed like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
You know why? Because it was good quality
Because it was good.
television.
That's exactly right. Because
Yeah.
you're sitting there enthralled by the Hoff and his
What?
chest hair.
It's over
And-
already?
Right. And
Dang
talking
it.
to Kit and the fucking car
I can't
does
wait till
everything.
next week.
What was the chick's name? Bonnie? Is that right? Am I
don't
remembering
know.
right?
Eye candy.
Oh, fucking eye candy. That's right. So hot.
Do they ever have a name? No.
Not that I
wow.
remember.
The eye
Okay,
candy
not
does.
touching that one. There's your Robism for the week. Who's got awards?
Yeah, I do.
Rob, who's got your black lung?
I gave it to Fifi for smoking a stogie and watering his plants.
Okay. James?
Fuck yeah. Who else was going to get it? Fucking Fifi. Fucking puffing on that
Goose.
stogie, baby.
Goose could have gotten it.
No, fuck Goose. All right? Fuck him. Fucking Fifi.
All right, I'm giving mine to Shakespearean
Goose,
Macbeth
No, you would.
for lighting his cigarette with the match that he forced Australian Warren Beatty to torch Goose with.
Can we didn't even talk about fucking Mad Max being the original, what was the guy's name from Saw?
Jigsaw?
Jigsaw. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, he's the original Jigsaw. Want to play a game? Here's a hacksaw. You can either burn to death or fucking hacksaw through your fucking leg. Have a good day, buddy.
Oh, I
Just takes
hate those movies.
I do too. This is so stupid. I hated the ending too. I even counted down to when it was going to go boom, and I was right on.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, my wife just looked at me. She's like, "How did you know?" I'm like, "I don't fucking know." Like, this movie's predictable as shit.
Yeah, I hate the Saw movies, so I've only seen most of the first one.
Yeah,
That's more than me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen any of them because I hate those kind of
Nope.
movies.
Nope.
All right, James, who's got your head lush?
Head Lush, I had to ask you two because I couldn't remember. Because it's, and I don't know how I forgot this because it's a part of the movie where it's like, oh my God, this is definitely not a post-apocalyptic dystopian future. They were drinking in the cabaret. So whoever was drinking in the nightclub.
Well, Goose
I
was
don't
in
even
there.
remember who it was. Was Goose drinking though?
Yeah, he had a beer in front of him.
I feel like even in the 80s, early, late 70s, whatever this fucking shit movie was made, I feel like drinking and driving, like it was still frowned upon. Like
He didn't drive. He spent the night.
Yeah, but why? She wasn't even good looking.
Mm.
Like my wife was like, "Is this sci-fi because she's an alien?" Like my wife who loves everybody, who's very nice. She was like, "She's supposed to be an alien?" I'm like, "Nah, this is what Australians thought was hot in the fucking 80s." Oh,
70s.
weird. Whatever.
Rob?
Cabaret people.
Cabaret people.
Cabaret people.
You are just not. Are you here today, Rob? Are you
Not
okay?
really. Not really. I mean, I'm fine. I just,
Can I get you something?
I get done with the whole, snow apocalypse down here. And I'm like, all right, well, time to get ready for Sadis this week. And yeah, it was nothing but a big disappointment.
Well, now you know how we feel when we podcast with you every week.
And for that, I apologize.
All right, mine's going to go to Goose for drinking in the cabaret as well. That was really the only, well, no, because there was also the beach scene where they were
Which
at the
one?
beach.
They lived on the beach.
Well, when the motorcycle gang was on the beach and they were shooting the mannequin, there was a huge pile of beer cans behind them. So
All Fosters, by the way.
Why not?
Australian for beer.
ugh, gross. All right, Rob, who's got your player award?
I'm giving it to Goose for getting it on with the cabaret singer
Okay,
for some strange reason.
James.
I'm going to give it to the guy driving the Chevy. What was it? Bel Air?
The Bel Air, yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to give it to him because he got it in the butt and he didn't even want it.
Okay.
I thought you were going to go there.
That was not where I thought you were going with that.
No. I'm on the same page with you there.
Yeah, thanks, buddy.
Oh my god.
Picking up what you're laying down.
Yeah.
Oh, you two are fucking awful.
Because you thought I was going to go with, like, he had one of the hotter chicks in the movie, right?
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, you thought that's where I was going to go, but no. He got,
he's a player, man. He's got, that is, Captain America is America's ass, right?
That's right.
That
He's
guy,
Australia's ass.
He's Australia's ass.
Right, that's right.
Oh
he is
my
Australia's
God.
ass.
Oh my
Straight.
Not
god.
only did he seduce the hot chick,
Man, he seduced the whole
that
biker
entire
gang.
bisexual biker
Oh my
gang.
god.
Give it
man.
to
You
him
are
in the pooper.
fucking awful.
He wanted it. Did you see how he was dressed?
Oh my
Oh, man.
god.
Well, I mean, he waited around long enough to
Right?
make sure that they were done terrorizing the
Right?
town
He's like,
before
they're
he
not
drove
busy
off.
now. Let's go. Hurry, quick. They're not busy.
Quick, almost run over their leader so that it'll really get them going.
Yeah. No, they won't. They'll ignore that. It'll be fine.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Who's your player?
I don't know anymore. Wow.
Why
Wow.
don't you give it to that random couple at the beginning of the scene?
He's trying to
that had,
decide
like,
right now how much of this
beginning
he's
of the
going to
movie.
edit out and how much of this he's going to leave in.
Yeah.
It's going to be a 5-minute episode.
It'll be a 3-minute episode.
Well, no, we got to have the pod crawl in there, so 5 minutes.
Yeah, I don't know anymore. Yeah.
You got the Purple Hippo Award still, buddy. I'm just trying to help you out. I don't know where your head's at right now. I can only imagine the Purple Hippo Award.
Oh shit. So my player, I think, is going to go to Mad Max's wife for, I don't know, having a kid and making him realize that he doesn't have a kid or something. Because I don't think he ever acknowledged the kid in the entire movie.
Who is that woman who was on trial, who she was acquitted? Everybody thought she killed her kid.
Shit, I don't know.
God, what was her name? Casey Anthony. This woman is the original Casey Anthony on Australia. Do we have a kid? I don't fucking know. Like, maybe. Are we going on vacation? Should we bring him? Is he here? I don't remember. I don't know.
All right, James, who's got your purple hippo?
Who put this on the list?
I think it was, this is a under the Mad Max series heading, so it would have been an original when Red and I first made the list.
All right.
So you two.
Yeah. I'm going to blame you because I liked Red. I think Red was great. You, I'm a little iffy on, to be honest with you. So you get my Purple Hippo Award for putting this on the list. I'm going to say that Red probably went, have you seen Mad Max? And you're like, no. And he's like, well, I don't think it should go on the list. And you're like, Red, it's going on the list. And Red's like,
it says sci-fi on IMDb.
Right. And Red's like, it's not sci-fi. And Jason's like, no, it is sci-fi. And
No,
Red's
it
like,
is. It's dystopian future.
Right. And Red's like, it's not going on the list. And then Jason went ahead and put it on the list, and Red just assumed that you didn't. So yeah, 100% Jason gets my Purple Hippo.
Yep.
Oh my God. Whatever gets you to fucking sleep at night. Rob?
So mine is a tie between the biker gang going road crazy and whoever thought this was sci-fi.
Do you ever wonder if Jason lays awake at night and goes, God, how can I replace these two assholes?
Yeah. Well, see,
Wonder no more.
I think he.
Wonder no more.
I think he like completely forgets what happens during every recording session.
Yeah,
He
I
just
roofie
blocks it
myself
out.
after every recording session. I wake up a couple hours later going, what in the fuck?
Well,
I
did
do
you
for
get
the
my
last
player
2
award? I want to
hours.
change my player award to you. You're roofing yourself every night.
Woo!
Not every night, just
Every Sunday.
every Sunday.
Blackout
So
drunk.
my Purple Hippo is going to go to both Australian Macbeth and the Knight Rider for apparently getting tailgated into stationary or objects moving the opposite direction.
Yeah. Looking forward. Not really something Australians do when they drive.
I guess not.
Well, they're on the wrong side of the car.
Yeah. They're literally
Yeah, why was everybody
wrong.
driving on the wrong side of the road?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Do they do that in Australia?
Yeah, they do.
So their cars are like that now? Still?
They've been like that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So if you were a British Commonwealth or part of the British Commonwealth, you drive on the wrong side of the road.
Right.
Which I'm not sure exactly why Japan drives on the wrong side of the road too.
I try not to figure out what Japan does because while their women are generally attractive, their accents don't really do it for me. But the Brits, the British accent. Yeah.
All right.
It's
Time to pick the next movie. So
Oh, God, please be sci-fi. I don't even care if you're good. Just be sci-fi.
I hate both of you.
We haven't had a chance to vet the list yet.
Who's picking the number? Who's telling me when to stop?
3.
Rob,
You did 3 last time.
I'm doing 3 again.
tell me when to stop.
Is your ass bleeding yet?
Oh, God damn it. Would you fucking shut up?
He gets my player award.
All right, go ahead and stop. Oh, this is a good one.
Yeah, it actually
Hold on,
is.
wait there. Crap.
Fuck. So, odds of it being sci-fi, Rob?
This is 1953's
I'm going to guess.
Nostradamus.
Yeah, I'm going to guess this is not sci-fi.
All right, so next
like
week we will be reviewing the movie where the Earth is invaded by Martians with unbeatable weapons and a cruel sense of humor. Directed by Tim Burton, it stars Jack Nicholson, Pierce Brosnan, Sarah Jessica Parker. It is 1996 Mars Attacks.
Yes! Yes,
All right.
finally! Finally, I
all
love
right
this
with that.
movie. Yeah,
All right with that.
this is sci-fi.
Yeah,
This is sci-fi.
yeah.
Finally, back on track. All right, I'm excited for next week. Excited.
All right. Mars Attacks.
Can't wait.
Oh, for
I'm going
fuck's
to do
sake.
the whole show next week like that.
Oh, my God. I may not be here next week.
That's okay.
That's all right. We've done it
with
without you before. Do it without you.
All right. Well, that's all we got for this week. Our intro and outro music is Welcome Home by Cambo. Podcrawl music is Snack Mix by Machette. If you like the show, please rate and review us on iTunes. You can leave us feedback on our Discord channel at smokinganddrinkinginspace.com/Discord or on Twitter at @Satis_podcast, or you can email us at smokinganddrinkinginspace@outlook.com.
We could be the doobie.
If you'd like to throw a few nickels our way, you can become a Patreon supporter by going to smokinganddrinkinginspace.com/Patreon. And make sure to visit Creative Brain Candy for more great shows and other creative works at creativebraincandy.com. For this week, I'm Jason.
Me. Well, I was going to do that, but now you've done that, so I'll just say, I've said enough. Trust me. I've said way too much.
Yeah. We'll talk to you next week.